Hey there, welcome back to another review. This time it's one of the last films that Till from Germany sent me. And I reviewed this once before, but it deserves more attention. And this is a DVD overseas of Warning Sign from 1985. Now, this was on DVD in the US, but it became out of print, so you can't find the movie for cheap. So that's why I'm glad to have this. I think Till from Germany, you do need a region-free DVD player at least to play this. But I remember first seeing this film, really enjoying it. I think it's an underrated gem. This is a movie that deserves a Blu-ray in the US. And for those wondering, this does have the audio commentary with the director that the out-of-print US DVD had. Also has a trailer and a TV spot. But yeah, this deserves a Blu-ray release, and that's why on a sorry, my nose is itching because I'm allergic to the bullshit that this film's not on Blu-ray. Oh, but the Psycho remake and Virus with Jamie Lee Curtis did a fucking Blu-ray. The Garbage Pail Kids movie and fucking Mac and Me, yeah, Mac and Me is getting a fucking Blu-ray, but this can't get a Blu-ray. But yeah, that pisses me off. But Warning Sign from 1985 stars Sam Waterston. You also have Kathleen Quinlan, Yaphet Kotto. You also have G.W. Bailey from the Police Academy films. You have Richard Dysart, who is in John Carpenter's The Thing. He's the guy who gets his arms bit off when he's trying to do the paddles to the guy on the table. Jeffrey DeMunn, he's one of the main characters. He was the sheriff in the 1988 movie The Blob. He was also in the original The Hitcher. And he's worked with Frank Darabont a few times. I think he was in The Mist and the TV show The Walking Dead. Yeah, the music by Craig Safan. I think he did a beautiful job on the music, especially the main theme. Craig Safan, he would do music for Remo Williams and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Director of photography was Dean Cundy. This is a guy who did DP work on many John Carpenter films like The Thing, Escape from New York. He did stuff in the Back to the Future films and many others. So you have a lot of capable people involved with this. And it's directed by this guy named Hal Barwood. And sadly, I think this is the only film he's directed because after this he went into video games. He's directed some video games, he wrote some video games. In fact, he wrote Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. Yeah. He wrote some Indiana Jones games and The Fate of Atlantis and The Hidden Artifacts, yeah, and the Infernal Machine. RTX Red Rock, Matahari, the story for that. Before this, he had written Dragon Slayer and Corvette Summer. He didn't direct those. He also had worked on the screenplay for the Sugarland Express and the Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. But after this, he directed Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire. Just a lot of video game work. Which is too bad because I thought the director did a really good job with this. And what this movie is, in a way, it's 28 days later before 28 days later. Because it's this group of people that get infected with a virus that deals with rage, which was 28 days later. So this was before that. And it takes place in this facility called biotech. And people on the outside think it deals with a new way for crops, fertilizer for crops, but really it's for germ warfare. An accident happens. Kathleen Quinlan has to lock the place down. She's married to the town sheriff, played by Sam Waterston, who's on the outside. Yaphet Kotto and his men come in trucks to try to see what's going on. They're sort of with the government. And then Sam Waterston gets in touch with Jeffrey DeMunn, who used to work with biotech, and works with them to try to see what they can do next. While the people on the inside, they're dying, but then they're not really dead because they come back and they can talk and they use axes, but they also deals with the rage part of their brain. So they're ready to kill. I love the trailer to this, narrated by Percy Rodriguez. He's the guy who narrated the trailer to Jaws, all the Jaws films, and many others. Pray for the people inside. Pray they don't get out. Warning sign. And for those wondering, this is a widescreen version of the film, which is nice. But yeah, that's the general gist of the plot. And I thought the first time I heard about this movie, I knew of the poster, which that's one thing. I need to find a printer and print off the. I like the original poster, which is simple, like the warning sign in red, and then there's the actual warning sign symbol and a black poster. I like it better than this. This seems like, I mean, I'm kind of iffy on this cover. I like the original like VHS cover and poster better. But I think I first saw this because of my friend Michael CP. And since this film was hard to get on DVD, he sent me a DVD-R. I was able to see it. I really enjoyed it. And then another guy sent me like a better like DVD-R that actually had the commentary on it from the out-of-print DVD. And I still have that. And I'm like, man, this is great. I wish this was officially released on a DVD or Blu-ray. And now that I have an official DVD, it's nice. Like I said, Craig Safan does a great job on the opening music. Do, 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 do. Very creepy, almost haunting piece of score. Really sets the mood up for the movie. And I remember when I first saw this, being unsure. I mean, that was a great opening, just showing the landscape of the farms and this biotech agronomics building in the middle of this farmland. This great music by Craig Safan again. But then it goes inside, and at first I'm like really iffy on this movie because there's this very elaborate way for the virus to get out. Very elaborate, where there's this tape and it gets on the suit and then it gets on this vial and then no one notices. And they say, hey, let's take a picture, but put your visors up. And I'm like, did these guys, are they in the future, are they going to breed the people from Alien Covenant? Is that how dumb they are? But, and then it drops and someone accidentally steps on it. I think if the rest of the movie continued like that, I would have hated it. I think there are better ways, less elaborate ways to get the movie going. But other than that, that's my only critique on the film. That's my only thing on the movie. If you get by that, big leap of faith, it's actually a really good film. Thought Sam Waterston did a good job as the sheriff. He was very likable, easygoing, has a nice rapport with his wife, Kathleen Quinlan's. They're married when they're talking on the CB radio. Kathleen Quinlan, she does the right thing when some people are like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just open the doors. It's just a test. Or it's just these pipes. And she does the right thing. With protocol, she closes the doors. It's biohazard alert. And inside, they're trying to figure out what to do. G.W. Bailey, he's like, oh, it's just pipes, don't worry about it. But then you find out, no, it is something to worry about. On the outside, Yaphet Kotto rides with the government. Some people are trying to get in. Sam Waterston has a cool moment where he gets a guy by the arms, like, drop it or I'll break your arm. And it's one of those movies that I'm not going to give too much away because I do think it's a film people should check out. I think it has a good atmosphere inside the facility. I thought the acting is very well done. I liked seeing Sam Waterston in this lead role. He was very capable. Jeffrey DeMunn, he was a fun character, had a good sense of humor to him. I thought he worked well with Sam Waterston. Yaphet Kotto, he's part of the government, but he's not a full-blown villain. Like, he does some things you don't agree with, but he's not a full-blown one-dimensional villain. There's a moment where, when I first saw it, I went, oh shit, where before they're even infected, G.W. Bailey and group go in and they want Kathleen Quinlan to tell them the code to get out. And she refuses. And they actually fry her a little bit. They electrocute her a little bit. And G.W. Bailey's trying to stop them. Just, hey, no, this is too much. You can't do that. And then they realize that the code's been expired. They did that all for nothing. And that's a moment that felt real to me because sadly, when the shit hits the fan, not everyone is your hero. Sometimes they think hero is just a sandwich, fuck this, and they're going to think more about their own lives. So that was a moment that felt real to me. I like the moment when some people in suits get in, and sometimes you see from this video camera. I'm like, shit, it's found footage before it was a thing. Just a little bit. And they see someone, and Jeffrey DeMunn realizes, hey, just get out of there. Something's up here. And they kill the team, one of them with an axe. And the craze infected people. The finale, when Sam Waterston and Jeffrey DeMunn get in it, Sam Waterston's shooting some. This one point, he makes this sort of flamethrower device that looks at the elevator. So when people come down, they get burned up. Real people on fire. It has a satisfying ending. Dots the I's, crosses the T's. It's just a well-told horror, sci-fi, thriller type of story with a really good cast, a wonderful score. I like that most of it takes place in this one location. It's not, they didn't deviate into what's happened in the town. It didn't deviate to people in government on telephones. It didn't deviate to, no, it was set in this one location, so it kept us involved in what was going on. I thought the director did a very competent job with it. I liked the idea behind the film. I mean, I guess before you could say a little bit about the Crazies, George Romero's The Crazies, but I'll say this. I've never been a big fan of George Romero's The Crazies. In fact, I bet my friend Michael CP would agree with this. We both would say this is a better version of The Crazies than The Crazies, really. I actually don't mind the remake of The Crazies, but I would say I like this more. And I like 28 Days Later. I reviewed that, and 28 Weeks Later I liked it a little bit less. I would say out of all of them, this is my favorite of that rage virus type of thing. And I think because, again, while I do like 28 Days Later, this one, it just, the great thing about doing stuff like this on YouTube is finding those hidden gems that are absolutely forgotten. And this was a film that was a wide release from 20th Century Fox back in 1985. And sadly, when it came out, it did nothing. And then for years, I had seen maybe the cover, but I didn't know what. In fact, when I first heard a warning sign, I thought it was more like the China Syndrome. I thought it was like a strictly dramatic movie about the dangers of nuclear waste or a nuclear facility or something. I didn't know it was sort of this horror sci-fi twist on it. Although there's a teeny bit of it based on fat, teeny bit. There's this virus called the Borna. I want to say it was the Borna virus, and they talked a little bit about it in the movie. They actually referenced this thing that happened in Germany. Although I think it was mostly in birds, but I think it was the Borna virus. I could be wrong on that. It was something with a B. I forget what the name of it was. But yeah, I thought it was well shot, well photographed. I mean, you got Dean Cundey, you got the guy who shot John Carver's The Thing and Back to the Future movies and all these other films. There's a very capable DP. Again, Craig Safan did a wonderful job on the score. That's why I keep bringing it up. He deserves the praise because no one ever talks about this film, let alone the music. Again, the cast do a wonderful job. I don't think there's a bad person in the cast. You even have, oh, what's his name? He was in Top Gun. And I mean, it's not a big role, but he is in the movie. But yeah, it's when I first heard about this, I did think it was going to be more like the China Syndrome with Jack Lemmon. I thought it was that kind of drama, but I was even more happy to find out that it was more of a sci-fi horror movie. I thought, wow, that's really cool, and I haven't seen this before. Rick Rossovich, there you go, Rick Rossovich. He was in Top Gun, among others. I think he was in Navy SEALs as well. Yeah, he was in Navy SEALs. But yeah, the cast did a wonderful job. The score was fantastic. The mood was cool. I liked the mood, the atmosphere of the film inside the facility of biotech. Yeah, I thought it was just, other than that elaborate way the virus gets loose, which they could have come up with something less elaborate. Other than that, I thought the rest of the film worked well. If you get past that one moment, I think you'll enjoy the rest of the movie. If you don't, oh well. We disagree. It had some nice moments of creepiness, and this is a movie that deserves some rediscovery. It really does. I hope one day it does. Hope one day it gets a Blu-ray release. I would happily get this on Blu-ray, just for because it's a film that deserves it. Shout Factory, Scream Factory. Don't stop worrying about these fucking psycho remakes and viruses. With you want to do a movie with a virus? Do this movie with a virus. Scream Factory, not virus with Jamie Lee Curtis. But what do I know? Anyway, that's just my thoughts on Craig Safan. I mean, Craig Safan. So hunt up on that. On Hal Barwood's Warning Sign. It's a film that deserves a lot more credit than it's been given. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.